I've never developed my own film before, so you're here to witness my first time to see how easy or difficult it is. I'm going to dive right into developing this now, and along the way talk about why I'm doing it and why I haven't done it sooner. The first roll I'm going to develop is this Portra 400 that I shot in this second-hand untested Leica R6 that I picked up last weekend. So go big or go home. I am home. Go big at home. Future editing me here, sorry to interrupt, but when I first made this video, I had no idea what was about to happen. I thought it'd be simple enough just to take the film and put it in the chemicals. Not the case. You see, first you have to take the film out of this canister using this tool, and then you have to slide and wind the film onto this reel in complete darkness. That then goes in this development tank where we later put the chemicals. I could have jumped straight to the development, but in the interest of authenticity and openness and a little bit of your entertainment at my expense, I thought I'd show you what really happened next. Right, so let's start by taking the film out of the canister. This is slightly scary and intimidating. I've got the instructions. Right, turn the spindle of the film cartridge 3 or 4 times anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Insert the tongue completely into the film cartridge slot 2. Look at me, what? We've achieved penetration. The tip of the second tongue must also disappear into the cartridge slot. Turn the film cartridge spindle till you hear a quiet click. Clockwise until you feel slight resistance. This is terrifying knowing it's Portra. Pull the complete film recoverer out of the cartridge, making sure you're not holding the cartridge by the spindle. Repeat the complete operation if the start of the film strip has not been extracted from the cartridge. We go again. You're not holding the cartridge by the spindle. Leaving it all to live. Just spent my whole evening doing this. Do you want to have a go? This time, come on, baby. Let's see if the double-sided tape method works. Bollocks. We can't be doing this every time.
Oh, I got it.
Right, well done. God almighty, what fat that was. Right, so now we need to put this film roll into this film developing tank. This is the bit that I was actually dreading, not getting the film out. This is the bit that looks hard. But let's give it a go. Like it. Zip done, Velcro done. Right, where's my film? Should I tell you what's happened? Film's just fallen off, yeah. Do you remember we saw that bloke do it and his wife did it for the first time? And she did it like really easily. Oh. Do you know what's brilliant these days? Labs. I'm literally just fumbling in the dark. Bloody love digital photography. I feel like I'm solving a really complicated, like Rubik's Cube or something. I feel like I'm in. I'm winding. Still winding. Oh, I think it's working. Oh. It's not winding on. It just feels like it's popped out. It's feeling creased and tight and horrible, and I don't like it. I'm right back to the start. I think we're in business. Okay, stay focused. I feel like it's stopped again. Oh, it has, it's not. It's gone back to the beginning again. Okay, get to a certain point and it stops winding. Oh, no. I think I just had to put more pressure on with my thumbs as it was loading in. It's not been fun, I won't lie. It's been frustrating. I think we're there. Film is in the tank. Tank is sealed. She's in.
A great success.
Okay, time to mix up our chemicals. So we're using the Bellini C41 kit. There's 4 bottles and it makes it look quite straightforward. The first one we're going to do is our developer, and we need 740 mils of water to go with this 260 mils of concentrated developer. The bleach comes pre-mixed as a litre. We can start putting this in the water actually, can't we? fixer, 500 mils of water, 500 mils fixer to make 1 litre. The stabilisers, again, make up to a litre, but you need 990 mils of water and just 10 mils of stabiliser, and these measuring jugs start at 25 mils. So we're going to use a syringe.
Can you say syringe?
Syringe. These are 10 mil syringes. Okay, so now we need to get all 4 of these up to 38 degrees. Another degree. Have we got any more hot water? This is me having some weird moment of confusion and doubt while doing the pre-wash of the film before recovering my composure and confidence by putting my glasses on. 38. Okay, time to develop the film. This is crunch time. I'm following the instructions on the bit of paper that came with the chemicals. I think we need to work fairly quick. Hey Siri, set timer for 3 minutes 15 seconds. Now watch my panic as I realise I can't put this half-empty bottle back in the bath because it will fall over. I need to agitate. Oh, I didn't start the timer. Agitate for 5 seconds every 30 seconds. So why are we doing it? Well, time is one. The turnaround times from good labs like the awesome guys at Analog Wonderland can be a couple of weeks, and that can feel a long time, especially if it's holding up the final part of making a YouTube video about film photography. Local labs are quick, but one branch of Snappy Snaps have destroyed several rolls of our films by leaving scratches all over them, and the results aren't that good either. I rescanned some images they had developed and got better results from my first poor attempt at scanning on a cheap second-hand scanner than they sent us for the final images. I'm probably overfilling this because my fingers are sort of, in the chemicals. Last 30 seconds. Bleach. 1 minute. Continuous agitation. Another reason for doing this is independence. There's something quite appealing about not needing to rely on anyone else to achieve something. Labs can put up costs or shut down or change staff or equipment to vary the results, but by doing it yourself, you put everything into your own hands and know where you stand. If eyeballs it up, at least I don't have to write a tease email and can just flog myself in my own time and cry into my warm chemical bath. 2 minutes for the fixer.
2 minutes, starting now.
Oh, this is going to be a long old agitation. I've got 3 minutes to do the next one. Then there's the cost. There's a good chance, if we can do this, that we might save some money on development. We're currently paying around £15 to £20 for colour development and scanning. That's maybe £320 for 16 rolls. Do it ourselves, and that's just £35 for the chemicals to do up to 16 rolls. Potentially a tenth of the cost, though it is a lot more work. But during a cost of living crisis, it's good to save money and do some light exercise to keep our hands warm when we can't afford to turn the heating on. Don't know if you should do a complete rotation of the agitation stick or just back and forth. What do you reckon? I'm covering both bases. Oh, stabiliser. 3 minutes, this bugger. Then there's just the adventure of it all. This was the first reason I had for wanting to develop at home. When I wanted to get into film photography, it was always part of the journey. Taking photographs was only ever half the job. Ever since I started shooting on film, it's almost felt a bit like cheating, or that I was missing out on some of the adventure by sending it to someone else to finish off. One of the big appeals about film is how hands-on and tangible it is, and this feels very exciting to finally be getting around to finishing off this magic trick that is chemicals and film photography. This has been one of the most stressful nights of my life. So either we've got some nicely developed film, or we've wasted 3 hours of our day and made a great mess. Should we find out? Should we get rid of this water first? Yeah, let's do that. I'll have a preview. We'll just do a quick preview. Whoa! I see photos. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see photos. We did it! Right, now we've got to hang these up to dry. We have some clips. Oh, dropped in bloody water. Christ. We'll hang these up to dry, and then we'll talk some more while they're drying. Like it. I'm hungry. While waiting for the film to dry, let's talk about why we didn't do it before. There's a few things that held us back. Firstly, it can be quite confusing and intimidating. Trying to do something you've never done before and trying to get our heads around the development process has taken quite a while, and quite a bit of Googling and watching YouTube videos. Navigating the various guides, varying opinions and suggestions can be overwhelming, and I think we definitely had a bit of choice paralysis for a while. Then there's the cost. It can be a bit of an investment to get everything together and know what you really need. The basic kit of bottles, funnels, development tanks, change bag and bits and pieces can cost between £100 and £200 depending on where you buy them from. We got a few bits second hand at a camera fair, which helped save some money. Things like a temperature control system for the water bath can be an extra £100 or so, but we opted to not splash out on that because enough people seemed to suggest it wasn't necessary. After that first go, I'm almost tempted to jump straight on Facebook Marketplace and see if there's one at a decent price. So, how did the photos turn out? Let's take a look. This is one of my favourite film photos I've ever taken, and knowing I was responsible for every step of creating it makes me even more proud of it. Overall, I'm thrilled with how these turned out. Most of them came out great. There are a few that had light blue patches. I'm not yet sure if that's down to the camera, like a light leak, if it was something to do with overhandling the film in the change bag, or a problem with the development process. But right now it feels like a tiny thing that I'll be keeping an eye out for in future. Since filming this, we've developed several rolls of film and it's got much easier every time. Editing this video and watching it back has been quite painful, seeing how stressed I got, but I thought it was important to be honest about my experience and use it to not discourage anyone from trying it, because since then it's been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Hopefully people will feel the end result, whether that's saving money or just developing your own work, is worth any initial struggles. Yes, getting the film out of the canister was a pain. I don't know what mistakes we were making, but since then we haven't had anywhere near that amount of trouble. And these days we tend to just be more careful when rewinding the film to stop it going all the way back in the first place. Winding the film onto the reel has also got a lot easier. Some tips I learned from others is to heat up the reel on a radiator beforehand and load the film in reverse. Somehow they both help and we don't have too many issues these days. Now we've got a set of chemicals prepared, it's quite a straightforward and quick process to develop a roll of film in about 15 minutes or so. Using a small bath has been a good move, and we now have a proper timing development app on our phone instead of asking Siri. We haven't bought a temperature control system yet, and while we do think about it from time to time, I think we're probably comfortable enough now that we won't bother, and instead spend that money on film and chemicals. Here's some photos taken on the Leica with Ilford Pan and using the Cinestill EF96 monobath, if you're interested. To be honest, of the whole process, it's the scanning and processing that is more time consuming than the chemicals. But the independence of being able to develop at home is brilliant, and it really makes me feel like I'm seeing the process through to completion. Although I suppose maybe we should print them ourselves too.